Let me play this clip from CNN criticizing Fox News for reporting false news. Let's see here.
Is Fox News an outlier, or is this the norm in a polarized media world?
Michael, it is not an outlier at all. This is the norm for conservative media. As you and I have been telling people for years,
I love how he says this is the norm for conservative media. For conservative media? Or for fucking mainstream corporate media, period. This is the norm for all of them. They lie when it is useful to the American empire. They're lying about the Chinese balloon right now. They're ignoring the fact that Nazis are incredibly significant contingent of the Ukrainian military. They're lying to say that's not true. I mean, they lie to support U.S. empire all the time. CNN, Fox News, Fox News, NBC, ABC, CBS, they're all lying to you, and they're doing the bidding of the U.S. empire. And when I say the U.S. empire, I'm talking about the corporate state. We live in an inverted totalitarianism. It's ruled by the anonymous corporate state. The corporate state owns our politicians to a large extent, almost completely. And so they're doing the bidding of all those players. Always. Never once will they turn away from that. And yet here he is saying, oh, this is the norm on conservative media. Just conservative media, that's all.
This is a business. They care about the bottom line. And the one thing that they are worried.
I'm sorry to stop it so much, but he just said, this is a business. They care about the bottom line. Is that not CNN? CNN gave us nothing but 4 years of anti-Trump coverage, which I'm fine with a certain percentage of that. Trump was a fucking goon and an idiot. But they give us nothing but wall-to-wall Trump coverage while the world heated up, while the environment died around us, while people lost jobs and suffered, while all these things were going on, and while the fucking U.S. war machine went exactly the same as it did under Obama or Bush or Biden or Clinton, exactly the same. They did wall-to-wall Trump coverage because it was good for ratings. He's describing CNN and acting like he's only describing Fox News.
About is losing their audience, alienating their viewers. And so here was a case where they really were concerned that if they told the truth, their audience was going to go find someone who told them what they wanted to hear.
Brian,
yet again, they're afraid that if they tell the truth, that people will go to another channel that tells them what they want to hear. That is what MSNBC did and CNN throughout the entire Russiagate. Rachel Maddow had frothing at the mouth segments on how Russian had rigged your election and all of the red dots on the wall, this Russian, that Russian. It's all fallen apart. There is zero evidence for any of it. It has collapsed completely. And it didn't change it at all, right? It's what her viewers wanted to hear. So she was doing it. That's what she wanted to get the viewers. Bottom line, everything he just said about Fox News is CNN, is MSNBC. There's no fucking difference. And so it's just, I mean, how can anyone watch this shit on CNN and not just fall over laughing? And by the way, I've mentioned both Rachel Maddow and Tucker Carlson. Those are two of three very well-known news people who in the past 5 years have been brought to court for their lies or libel against someone or something. And all three of them have claimed that the reason it was okay that they libeled insert person here, the reason it was okay is because no one believes their show. Literally, you can Google it when you're done watching here. Don't go Google now. But you can Google it afterwards. Tucker Carlson, I mean, their lawyers are usually sent to court cases, not themselves. But Tucker Carlson, Rachel Maddow, and Alex Jones, the third is Alex Jones, by the way, have all said in court that the reason it's okay for them to lie is because their viewers don't believe them. And I'm paraphrasing, but their lawyers said things like their viewers know that Rachel Maddow is being satirical at times. They know that she's not always telling it exactly as it is. And in Rachel Maddow's case, it happened because she claimed a journalist was paid by Russia. And whoever the journalist was had not been paid by Russia at all. And apparently her viewers were supposed to know that that's not true. So all three of these people have gone into court and under oath said, this is okay, what we do. We lie to our viewers because our viewers don't actually believe us. When, of course, they do. They do believe, sadly.
And this is not the 1990s. They don't have the strangle. Russia's no longer here. I think this was just the 2-year anniversary of his passing. Fox doesn't have the stranglehold on conservatives that they did at one time. There's a lot of competition in the marketplace.
This is the key point, Michael. In the 1990s, somebody who watched or listened to Rush or watched Fox in its early years probably was also watching the nightly news or CNN and consuming media like yourself. So they were not living in this hermetically sealed world of conservative media. Flash forward to now, and they have dozens of options in conservative media. And so what happens is every host is worried about getting outflanked. Every host is worried about hearing that, what happened to you? You sold out. I can't trust you anymore.
I mean, how is that not exactly the same as CNN and MSNBC? They have competition. Liberals don't have to turn to MSNBC. They can turn to things like CNN. They can turn to the Young Turks for, various forms of garbage. Like, there's a lot of outlets out there where they can turn. And so CNN and MSNBC are just flying towards the ratings wherever it is. And they know the ratings are generally to go after Trump. Those were great ratings for CNN. CNN lost, the moment Trump left office, there were initial reports that CNN lost something like 46% of their viewers. And so it's a ratings bonanza. And I said this going into the campaign. Not going into the campaign, going into the election when Trump was running. So Trump's running. Most of the country thinks, he doesn't have a shot. And I had said that CNN, if Trump gets elected, and by the way, I was opposed to both of them, as I think I make clear plenty. If Trump gets elected, it is squarely at the foot of mainstream media. They've given him 24/7 coverage. Doesn't matter whether it's negative or not. They're saying his name every 3 seconds. And literally they gave, I forget the exact numbers. It was like 10 times as much coverage as Hillary Clinton and like 30 times or more as much coverage as Bernie Sanders. Like they were covering him nonstop. And then they go, oh my God, Trump won. And it's like, well, I don't know that most Americans even knew who else was running. It was all you guys talked about. So they're going towards the ratings. Trump is the ratings, and they're still talking about Trump. Go turn on CNN and MSNBC any day of the week. I bet you get 20% still about Trump. He's not even fucking in office. Do you remember with most presidents, they'd leave office, you'd hear like one story a month, maybe, about the president that left office. Instead, we have our mainstream media still pounding Trump down our throats because that's where the ratings is. So exactly what they're blaming Fox News for, they're doing. By the way, I'm going to continue this right now. We're going to talk a little more about this and more stories. Oh, yeah, cryptocurrency. Yeah, the big central bank cryptocurrency. How the central banking systems in various countries are working towards eliminating cash and having full control over every monetary system. We're going to talk about that and more at rumble.com/Lee Camp. Rumble.com/Lee Camp. Here, I'll put the actual link to the episode in the chat here, so you can join me right there. If you're at Rumble right now, nothing will change. It will keep going. It's free to watch over there, and I hope you will join me over there for the rest of this live stream. said by a guy wearing a t-shirt with a vest. Bam, 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 bam. I mean, you can't get better than that. You can't, honestly. If you're going to get truths about reality, I think you should get them by a guy wearing a t-shirt and a vest. That's the way to go. All right. So let's keep going here. I'll play a little more of this. I'll be honest. I haven't actually watched Beyond here, so I don't actually know what they're going to say, but I can't imagine it'll be smart or useful. I'll tell you that much.
More. Why? Because even if they don't throw out the craziest theories themselves, they know their audience is getting this stuff from somewhere. It could just be a video someone posted on Facebook. You know, we also have social media today, or it could be from Breitbart or Newsmax or, you know, any show that you can think of. So the end result here is that they're all worried about getting outflanked. They're all worried about, you know, not being far enough to the right or not.
All right, he's just repeating himself, so I'm gonna end that there. He said that about 3 times, which they consider news coverage. I mean, there's a deeper layer here. You know, I wanted to show the hypocrisy of this CNN clip. And by the way, this is not the only CNN report on the facts that Fox News in this court case has revealed they are lying to viewers, and they know they're lying to viewers, but they view that as being respectful, apparently, to lie to viewers. But there's a deeper layer here, which is that this garbage, this nonsense, I mean, he's literally just repeating the thing he said a minute ago. That counts as mainstream media. That counts as useful information to their viewers, when in fact there is so much about this world that they could be talking about. They could be talking about 3.4 million Americans that are refugees right now, and it's actually far higher than that. They could be talking about the fact that central banks around the world are pushing to get rid of cash so that they can monitor all your transactions. They could be talking about a lot of things. They could be talking about the gravity of capitalism that is destroying our environment, our souls, our fucking lives, taking away our ability to follow any kind of passion other than our slave labor job. They could be talking about all those things, but they're not. They're talking about this, and they're literally repeating themselves on top of that. So, hope you enjoyed that little update on how hypocritical CNN is.